Hey, everyone. The records are now open. Welcome to the 821 episode of Akashic Answers with Emily. I am looking forward to spending some sacred time here with you. Say hello to me once you pop in today. And if you are a first timer, here's what to expect. We are going to jam for the next 30 minutes or so in our Akashic Records. The Akashic Records are the realm of consciousness that hold all intelligence, past, present, all possible futures, and is recorded from a neutral perspective. Neutral means unconditional love and zero judgment. So hang on, there we go. When you learn to shift your consciousness, to open up your mind, your imagination, you begin to activate the neurons of the heart mind, think with the heart mind. You earn the ability, you earn the right, you obtain the ability to go to the next gateway with your consciousness, and you can tap into superconscious intelligence. This energy of the Akash has been taught throughout civilizations and mankind since really the beginning of mankind, but it's not taught in a really open manner. This is secret esoteric wisdom that has been hidden for generations. Perhaps many of you have worked in past lifetimes where you had access to this esoteric information. And we are bringing it back on the planet. We are experiencing a collective time of remembering, of evolution on the planet, where our DNA is activating and we are accessing more of this innate knowledge. So as you hang out here with me in the space and with this amazing community, like Shannon and Amy and Booyah, I see you here. Who else do I see here? Gary, I see you, Truth Wave Energy, and Joe Fox. Hi, everybody. As you're hanging out with this devoted community who desires to tap into potential, you're going to receive an activation just by being here today. Your DNA is going to start to activate. The Akashic Records are a cumulative experience. So the more time you spend here, the more activation that you get. You're going to pick up right where you left off last time. And hi, Aaron, the more you participate, and you can participate by asking questions, or you can participate like Jan Peck and letting us know where you're tuning in from, Arizona and KC, Kentucky. Go geography. Yep. I'm coming to you from the high Sierras here in Reno, Nevada, Lake Tahoe. And as we begin to envision where we're all holding and anchoring this light across the planet, we create a grid of consciousness that allows us to support and share even more intelligence as it flows through today. That's my desire. My intention for each one of you is to be the most profound and clear channel of the information, the frequency, as it comes in today. I'm going to be channeling from the Akashic Records, but truly my gift, my area of expertise, while I do find that I think I'm really good at reading the records, if I do say so myself, but I want to make you feel like you're good at reading your Akashic Records, because when you can read your own Akashic Records, you have this level of connection where you get to see yourself through the perspective of God mind, through God intelligence, which is vastly different from how we're seeing ourselves in our human experience. And when we start to tap in and we see the dynamics that are playing out. Oh, I see that my trauma is playing out there. Oh, I see that my son's trauma is playing out there. Or my ex's trauma is playing out there. Or whoever. Again, mine. We've always got to come back to seeing my own trauma, right? Oh, yeah. Oh, I see how I created toxicity at that point in my life. I'm going through one of those chapters right now, definitely. Using the records to see from a higher perspective how the wounded version of me who showed up in the early decades of being an adult and being a mom, which, by the way, my oldest just turned 21 this week. But I had a lot of hurt and pain that caused me to show up a certain way in my marriage to the kid's dad. Yes, it's a two-way street. I'm talking about my responsibility in this. And I can see where to give myself full credit, yeah, I acted up in a lot of ways, but I also didn't have the tools to manage aspects of pain and trauma that I really didn't even know were pain and trauma. Like I was so asleep to the truth of who I was. I was doing the best that I could with the tools that I had. And it wasn't very good, by the way. Again, if I do say so myself, I created some massive toxicity. And now I'm seeing how that toxicity affected my kids and decisions that they're making now. And I'm like, oh, crap, we got some restructuring to do. So as I'm embracing this Leo energy that's inviting us to restructure our lives, to see everything differently, this is what it looks like for me. Yes, it also looks like playing big and envisioning living in our potential and the desires and the dreams that we have, and understanding our mission. And man, when you are on point in your mission, well, let me speak for myself. When I'm on point in my mission, as I feel like I am right now, in a lot of ways, I have to course correct. I actually just canceled the next 6 months worth of live speaking events, which feels a little scary, as you can see me emoting that, and it feels good at the same time too. But there's family that I don't need to show up to right now. I want to prioritize that, and the spaciousness feels really good. Right? But we are also feeling into and dreaming into who we want to be and how we want to affect change here on the planet. I personally freaking fell so in love with the Akashic Records that it caused me to leave my career in acting. Shannon Mock, are you still here? Give a wave. And Shannon is one of my dear friends from that chapter of my life. Such a beautiful, artistic, amazing chapter. I loved what I experienced in Hollywood. It was also a pretty tough playing ground. He says, there I am. Daily rejection, lots of issues to work through in that space, but super exciting. And I loved a lot of, so much of it, and never would have left it had I not had such a mystical, magical, crazy experience with waking up to the truth of who we are. And I got so excited and turned on about sharing that with others that I left Hollywood. When did I first realize my gift? Oh, I think I was realizing it in baby steps along the way, but I wasn't actually giving myself that big moment of, oh yeah, my gifts are turned on, until the moment. You guys have probably heard the story. I'm not going to go too much into it. I want to get into y'all today. I want to serve y'all. But I do tell that story often about the transition from Hollywood into doing this work. And like basically what it looked like was I was just open to practice and play and to share meditation and healing with a friend when his father, who had passed, so there was like a mediumship experience, presented itself to me. And the unraveling of that, as I showed up to it to participate and to play, every single thing that used to just exist in a mystical, magical, in my mind, in my imagination, or in my journal, became real and became validated in those moments. And when it became real and validated in those moments, it was just no longer deniable. And I got really excited about, oh my gosh, this is the biggest, most amazing story on the planet, is that humans can tap into a resource of knowledge and intelligence that changes the game for us. I got so inspired about sharing that I left Hollywood and started my own business and became a single mom in that process, and was scared shitless because I also was a college dropout to move to Hollywood. I moved to Hollywood when I was 19, so I didn't have like career skills to fall back on. I had to learn how to be an entrepreneur. I was artsy fartsy type, hanging out with Shannon Mock, and we were doing good things though. We had hearts of gold, didn't we? Doing good things for the community. Maybe wreaking some havoc in some fountains late night in Santa Monica, but you know, just stuff like that, just stuff that friends do. But I didn't have any skills to fall back on, so there was definitely a major learning curve. Oh, we got Jason in the house. Jason's from the I'll call it the first chapter of my life. I was born into a really small town in Louisiana, Missouri. So I quit life in Missouri when I was 19, moved to Hollywood. lived out that Midwestern girl in Hollywood until I had this really intense metaphysical experience and realized, oh my gosh, I got to share this with people. And one more piece that I want to share about myself, because, you know, I like the glitz and the glamour, and I like where I've been able to take myself and my family in terms of creating success, but it hasn't always been this way. When I left Hollywood and I started my own business, not knowing how to start my own business, I sucked at it, and I was on food stamps, and I felt like, how am I ever going to figure this out? All right. And it's been longer than 5 years since I've been doing this, but once I hit the 5-year mark, I figured out the multi-six figures a year. I'd made my first $1 million in doing this work. And so it shifted relatively quickly. And I just love sharing this with you all too. All right, so let's dive in. Start firing at my chat box with questions. All right. The records are here to give us wisdom, guidance, and clarity about areas of our life where we may feel stuck. Okay. What does it mean to feel stuck? Well, you are doing the work to uncover your soul truth, to find your joy, to meditate more, to have more peace, to eat better. But you're still finding that there are aspects of your life that are presenting challenge. These are your karmic challenges. They're here to be your teachers. All right. And your Akashic Records can help you understand what you're not getting, what the lesson is, so that you can shift it. All right. Another way to use the records is to understand and get insight that is more than just surface level. So a lot of times you'll meet somebody and you'll have a really strong soul connection to that person. And it goes beyond what just logic can explain. The records can help you understand if you have had a past life with this person, or what the soul lesson is that you are coming in to learn. Such fun stuff. You see why I'd rather teach you how to do this than read for you, because you can read for yourself all day long if you know how to do this. All right, but I'm going to play with you all today. I'm going to share with you what it looks like to tap in. Now, this is just intelligence as it's coming in through my field and my experience. Another reason it's important for you to learn is because it will take away that barrier of the person who's translating for you, it coming through their experience. I mean, these are your soul records. All right. Christina says, I'd love some guidance trying to level up and transform my life at 47 years old. Ooh, I heard that. 47. I just turned 47 on June 13th. I think, did I turn 47? I think so. All right. It seems it is true. I was born in 1977. Math is not my strong suit, but if anybody wants to do the math for me and just check me there, make sure I'm 47. I feel like I'm going backwards and get myself into trouble. I feel like I'm going backwards by getting myself into trouble. How can I dissolve this chapter? Okay, good stuff coming in, Christina. The first thing that the guides are saying is that there's a pain point in that immaturity, that place where you're going back to, or that trouble, the trouble that you're finding. Like, it feels like it's connected to probably rebellious high school, college years, those years where as a human, we are defining ourselves and who we are independently of our parents and the constructs that we grew up with, the guides are saying. But the challenge for humanity and humans when we're in that place is that we don't actually have the prefrontal cortex, or the part of the brain that matures in our late 20s and early 30s. And this part of the brain is what helps us to see the bigger picture. It actually helps us to see cause and effect, which is one of the 7 hermetic principles. And we don't see that bigger picture from that part of our brain until much later. And so we definitely F a lot of things up along the way. We humans do. But the reason that you're going back is because there's a trauma in that part of your life, where a part of your path, your soul's path, that didn't get that lesson fully healed. All right. It could be a variety of things. It's just an important time we are gaining our independence. All right, psychologists talk about how our early childhood, so much of who we are gets developed by, I don't know, 4 or 5 years old in our early childhood. This is another significant stage where identity in the world gets developed, the guides are saying. And the fact that you're going back and you're revisiting, now with this part of your frontal cortex evolved, you're getting to revisit, in essence, this part of your life and who you are, but see from this higher perspective. Okay. And once you get the lesson and you see what it is, and I have a feeling once you plug these pieces into your processing, it's going to make sense. But once you get the lesson, you're going to be able to move on. Our lessons are evaporating very quickly. If we have the devotion to work on our lessons at this time, they are ready to move. All right, who has a lesson in your life that you feel like you have been working on and you're ready to move? By the way, give some love likes, hearts across the screen for Christina. If you see me going like this, it basically is me charading, like hitting a pinball machine or hitting each one of your phones, blow up the algorithms. Okay, thank you. Blow them up. So the more of us that come together in this space and open our minds, the faster we will evolve, the faster we will get through our lessons of density, the faster we will manifest. All right, so the guides want to bring in an activation here for anybody that's feeling like you've got something deep and you want it to move and you want to use this energy of ease of release, the guides are calling it, to move this energy, but you got to name it and claim it. And you got to be ready to let it go, the guides are saying. So many times we hang on to dysfunctional relationships or dysfunctional aspects of ourselves, dysfunctional ways of being. They're talking specifically about being involved in and engaged in drama right now, whether it's drama with family, drama with friends, drama with self. Self-drama looks like talking shit about yourself. Okay. If you are engaged in any of these things and ready to let them go with ease, but you really got to let it go. You can't show up and keep participating in it because it will invite you back. Okay. That's whatever you are ready to let go of in this moment. Say, let go if you know what it is. Type in the comments, let go if you know what you are about to let go of. But here's what the guides want you to know. It's going to go away with ease. You're going to know because you're going to start thinking and feeling differently about this person, subject, thing, whatever it is. Type let go if you know what it is you're going to let go of. And you're not done. The guides are sharing that you will test yourself. You will have an opportunity to re-engage in this particular behavioral pattern or cycle, and you will need to consciously choose once you're already triggered and you're already walking down that old timeline, and all of a sudden you remember, oh shit, no, I said I wasn't going to participate in this. You have to choose an unplug, and you will already be triggered. Okay, so we're going to bring in an activation here for the nervous system. Deep breath in. Exhaling through pursed lips. Exhale longer than your inhale. Activating the vagus nerve. I see you, let goes. I see you, Caleb. I see you, Haley, Venny, Shannon, Melinda, Christina, Mandy. Yes, I'm with you. Deep breath in. Good. We're putting in positive deposits into our peace bank right here. So when our nervous system is triggered and we're tested in this challenge of letting go, we can be successful. You will have a timeline jump, a radical timeline jump. The guides are saying deep breath in. Good, nice little exhale. Exhale longer than your inhale. Who wants a radical timeline jump into a new version of you, far away from these old patterns, these old shitty patterns? I'm ready. Let's do it. I felt that. All right, rock and roll. All right, I'm grabbing another question. How'd you guys like that? Are you having fun? Cool. Okay. Shannon Mary here says, you desire to let go of confusion around my relationship. Who has confusion anywhere in your life? The guys want to work specifically with confusion now. They're going to bring in some energy that's going to help settle and flush confusion. So think about what you're most confused about in your life. Maybe it's your money situation. Maybe it's where you're going to go in your business moving forward. Maybe it's if you want to leave your job. Wherever you feel the most confusion. Okay, confusion is an energy that keeps us playing small. It's self-sabotage. It's linked into learned helplessness and our attachments to suffering. So if you're ready to release any and all energy around playing small right now and confusion, you can say yes. But you have to be willing to trade that. Like I said, when we were breathing before, we were making investments into our peace bank. Everything is a commodity, as an energy that we're trading here. All right. So if you want to give up confusion, you're going to have to trade that for something. What are you going to trade it for? Trade it for, I heard one of my students say this one time, Karen Melindy, I am willing to be guided. Something she channeled from the Akashic Records. She said, I trade confusion for I am willing to be guided. So if you are willing to make that trade, make that soul trade, you can rewrite your soul contract in terms of what your default functions are. And you may now trade confusion in any and all circumstances for the willingness to be guided by your innate and your higher self and your Akashic Records. And so it is. Ooh, that was a good one. All right, thank you. Thanks, y'all. Okay. Let's get some more questions coming in here. All right. Feeling the loss of freedom if I commit to a relationship. Ooh, okay. So we want to listen to that. Loss of freedom. Anybody feeling like there's an opportunity, a commitment in front of you, and it feels like there is constriction that comes up in your body when you think about that. Part of you may feel expansive about it. Part of you may feel constriction. So just notice if this is you talking to everybody, not just Amy. All right, we want to pay attention to this constriction. So anytime our body is giving us feedback of constriction, it may well be, yep, don't go that direction. But it might not be that cut and dry. It also may be, yeah, the constriction that you're feeling is the fear of being seen. And that's what you really need to address, is the fear of being seen. That's what's creating the constriction. But we always want to listen to our bodies when we come up. Take two. We always want to listen to our bodies when they're talking to us. Okay. It could be perception too. Don't ever be afraid to listen to what your body is saying to you, because it doesn't necessarily mean it's a no. Especially if it's something you want to do and you're like asking your body, should I send him a flirty message? And maybe you want your body to say yes, but you feel really weird about it. Like, oh, dang. No, let the feedback, get curious about the feedback that your body is giving you. And maybe your body is sharing with you, yeah, but I have this pain and this fear of being seen, of being fully seen or being fully accepted. So it's really all feedback. Okay, the guides want to increase our awareness of information that our bodies are giving to us. Body talk, I think, is Dolores Cannon's daughter would call that. So if you want to receive an upgrade in your nervous system and in, it's almost like in your mind, in your neural processing systems that will better alert you When your body is giving you feedback so that you don't ignore it, you can say yes. And that response system will upgrade for you, meaning that you're going to start feeling more of your body. Now, for some of you, the guys are saying you might notice that you feel a bellyache after what you eat, because some of you are eating garbage food still. Now, I'm not here to bust your chops about licorice you might have snuck in the middle of the night. That was me. Totally not here to bust your chops about that. And I will say, if you're not having a variety of rainbow colored food that has powerful life force energy, you have an opportunity to get more chi energy flowing through your being. And if you do get up in the middle of the night to eat some sugar, check in with yourself. There's some part of me that the sugar is creating a reaction in my body that's soothing, and it's false. But at least I see it. I get to invite myself into that. Okay. All right. Let's go into another question here. Goularte says, I have, sound it out, girl. And I already can tell you, I don't know what this is. I hope there is some context, or the records might have to fill me in. Goularte, if you're here though, just like help a sister out. What is? Spell it phonetically for me. Aphantasia. Is this where? Oh, this is where you can't see in the mind. I was just gonna say. Oh, good, you put it there. This is where you can't see in the mind. I ran onto somebody else who said this before too. Okay, for me, I'm going to share with you what I'm getting right now, but I also feel like that this is more Emily talking, and I'm going to tap in and take a deeper breath. Like, I feel like it's imaginary. You're making it up anyway. So you don't actually have to have the same skills that you see in real life to make it up. I don't know. Y'all from some different kind of planet where your DNA is interesting. Okay, so let's see what the guys have to say about this. Okay, first of all, anytime that we are experiencing something that we don't understand, asking to see this from a different perspective. Okay, so Goularte asking, how can I see this from a different perspective? What am I missing? Asking that in the records. Let me just say, I'm channeling in questions to ask in the records rather than answers here. And this is an interesting conversation to have, because truly the questions that you ask in the records, and whether you are in the records or not, or you're just asking questions in your mind, this is a fundamental understanding about how your brain works. Based on what questions you're asking your brain is going to go and seek feedback and knowledge and evidence to support whatever you believe about the question that you asked. Okay, so this is really about asking the right questions. The guides are saying this is a very valuable, I'm going to call it a defect, and they're saying, again, for lack of a better word, a very valuable defect for highly conscious individuals to have. Because as you explore Goularte and my friend David, who shared with me that he was experiencing this too. Anybody else have that, by the way? As highly evolved souls such as yourselves, ponder and ask this question about expanded sight, and you invite forward expanded sight for not only yourself, you are doing it for the collective of humanity, and you are inviting and engaging an opportunity to up-level the sight of all beings on the planet. Had you never asked these questions as an embodied being in a high state of consciousness, this intelligence would have never had the opportunity to flow into the planet, into the grids. Continue to invite insight on how to further open the visual aspects and visual mechanisms of humans, as your ability to see into interdimensional planes is coming online rapidly. Okay, the guides are also saying use your peripheral, train in the peripheral. Okay, what does that mean? Put your hands forward. Keep looking forward until you see the zone where they disappear. Then you want to just wiggle your hands in the peripheral. Being in Shasta over the actual peak of Lionsgate and being there for a week, we did a ton of ship CE5 watching, ship watching. CE5. And the crazy thing about looking in the sky for the ships is that you can see them so much better in your peripheral. So be sure that you're training your peripheral, because you can see into dimensions that you can't see looking straight on. And for those of you who do have aphorismophobia, sorry, I don't know what that is. Aphantish. Oh, I didn't even have to go scrolling backward. It's still there on my screen. A lack of image in the mind. Allow the image, your visual spectrum of what you can see in the physical grow. Basically, screw your mind. Okay, so you can't see it in the mind. Just work on seeing it in the fields, like in the physical. All right. How many of you have had fun being here today? I had so much fun. I don't even want to go. I'm going to answer one more question as we're wrapping up. Although I do have something special for everybody today for being here. Oh, shoot. Where'd I go? Doggone it. Oh, I'm back here. Okay. Soul mission mapping, this is called. If you have questions about your soul mission, you want to get into the timeline and the vibrational frequency of your soul mission, where you're getting thoughts and ideas and feedback and meeting people who are also on that timeline, this is a really cool resource. I have not shared it in quite a while. I want to make sure that you pick it up. So check out the Mapping Your Soul Mission worksheet. I just put it in the link if you are watching on StreamYard. I mean our comment link. It's not in the description on YouTube yet, but I will go back and put that in for you. And as soon as we wrap up here on Instagram, I will go make sure that we have that link turned on in Linktree, Soul Mission Mapping, so that you can download it. Okay. All right. Haley says, I have been receiving downloads from the Akashic Records. Can you verify for me that my subconscious on who I believe I am is correct? I'm kind of confused as a soul, as a human, and some verification. Okay. Yep. Here's what I can verify for you, Ms. Haley, is that it doesn't matter whether or not it's true. It's the power of the story that changes you. So what I find is that a lot of us are tapping into either lifetimes where we feel like we have a full memory of being an ascended master, or we're tapping in, like our consciousness has the ability to tap into that collective storyline of Jesus, of Yeshua, let's say, and to pick up memory and feedback from that. And we are here to carry on in that mission. It may be one specific ascended master avatar. It may be a mixture of a lot of them. Like I feel a lot of them, a lot of Hysis and Athor. You know those ones? Yeah, those. Thank goodness Mary Magdalene and Mother Mary both have they're all M's. Oh, Kuan Yin, another big one for me. The Merlin magician, Thoth, Melchizedek, Hermes. That energy is really alive in my field. The energy of the mystery school. Okay, so I find that there's a lot of different archetype intelligences that I tap into, and am weaving from the ones that feel alive and passionate in my field or in my genealogy or genealogy. That would be your DNA meets your genealogy. Your genealogy. Denology. You guys know that I have a made up word glossary. I'm like, why the frick all these soul mapping worksheets and downloads? Just give people access to your made up word glossary. Raise the vibrational frequency. So many notches here on the planet because it's freaking funny. You'll belly laugh. I will. I got a couple cool new things that I'm releasing for you all. So stay tuned. Make sure that you stay close. If you're not getting opportunities, the messages that invite you, your engraved invitation to come into this space, some of you get like 3-4 text messages from me. Only sign up once if you only want one text message, okay? But sign up. Make sure that you grab these resources because that'll put you on our email list and our text list, and you'll make sure that you get a ping so you can come join us. Also, if you have had fun today, if this has been valuable for you, please take a moment to share this out. There is someone in your life. Share it out with somebody specific. If you don't feel called to put it on your timeline because you're not out of the closet yet, send it to someone specific. If you are out of the closet and you are here supporting others and this has been helpful to you, share this out. So the more of us power players that really get in here and create time for this work and take it seriously, things begin to change fast. All right. I love you. Thanks for being here. And I will see you back here next week.